I'm Ethan Moore from Stockman Supply. A really common question that I get all the time is what the difference is between diamond sharpening stones and CBN. Now CBN stands for cubic boron nitrate. Now more often you're going to see the diamond stones in like a bench stone format or a file like this. Mostly handheld sharpening operations. Now diamond is a little bit harder than CBN, which is great. Now they look nearly identical, which is kind of the confusing part. So diamond's a little bit harder, works really well if you're using lapping fluid on it. Now the thing about diamond, when it's made of carbon, that's what diamond is. If you combine heat and a steel that has carbon in it, you can have a chemical reaction with that diamond. So if you have a diamond wheel on your grinder and you're using a steel that has carbon in it, which most high-speed steels do, you can turn that diamond into something that's not diamond, that's not very hard. So essentially you're gonna wreck that diamond wheel. Now, if you're using it in a bench stone format where you're sharpening by hand, you make very little heat, so there's no real danger of a chemical reaction. Now, CBN, it is not made of carbon, it's cubic boron nitrate, so a totally different chemical, not quite as hard as diamond, but still very, very hard material. Now, it works really good because there's no danger of having any chemical reaction on carbon steels. Now, you're not going to want to use an oil or a cutting fluid on these because there is potential to get a chemical reaction when you add heat to that there, which isn't as dangerous as the diamond on carbon steel, but there's still some danger of that there. So generally when you're using a CBN wheel, you're just going to use it raw on your grinder. Great for high-speed steels and other things like that. Now, if you are trying to sharpen carbide on your grinder, you're not really going to want to use a CBN wheel, not ideal for that. Carbide though is one of those metals that doesn't have any carbon in it. So there are actually diamond wheels available for that, to sharpen carbide exclusively. So that is an option. Now, CBN wheels on a grinder, the metal dust will kind of blow away or fall away really nicely. When you are using a diamond hone like that, all the metal dust that you are removing will kind of load up on that wheel. So that's why Trend will make these erasers to clean that wheel off as you use it. So they both definitely have a purpose. When you're using it like this, without any speed, there's no danger of the heat. So you can sharpen pretty much whatever you want with that diamond. But if you are using it in a wheel format on a grinder that does have speed, now you're going to want to use these CBN wheels on a low speed grinder, 1725 RPM. If you go to a 3450 RPM grinder, you will burn your tools and wreck the edge on them. But yeah, if you're using anything with speed, the CBN wheels are the way to go for sharpening turning tools and things like that. Now, the other thing to mention, when you're looking at diamond hones or CBN wheels, you don't want to get something that's diamond impregnated. You want to get something that's electroplated. Essentially, impregnated is a fancy word for that diamond is glued onto that metal. Now that diamond is only as good as that adhesive. If that adhesive wears out, which it will, the diamond will fall off. When we say something is electroplated, the diamond is put down and then literally metal is electroplated nickel on top of that. So that diamond is part of that piece of steel right here. And same with the CBN. So go with something that's electroplated rather than impregnated. So yeah, I hope that answers your guys' questions there. It's kind of an interesting thing. They look so similar, but they do have some important differences. So if anybody else has any questions, you can email me at info@stockmansupply.com or just comment on the video. Now, if you want to see future videos, make sure you subscribe and hit the little bell button in the corner here. Thanks for watching.